This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Pawan here. So, welcome everyone to Oracle DBA demo, and thanks for joining. So, I hope my audio is audible to everyone, and the screen is also visible. So, at any moment of time, if you would like to ask anything, there is an option of the chat. So you can ping in the chat, or we have a question and answer session at the last, so we can discuss over there as well. So first of all, welcome to TechMaster, and TechMaster is an institute that has been identified by software professionals who has collaborated, and the intention of giving the best quality of software training with respect to the courses, and that's where we brought in learn from home option. So that's in like you don't need to personally visit the classroom training and all. So it's completely online training, and we are going to use some tools in order to give the feeling of a classroom training. And every trainer that we have in TechMaster, minimum they are having 9 years experience. So and so that they could carry that SME experience, and they could deliver best out of the knowledge. So that's where we ensure that we have only real-time and certified trainers, and these are the courses right now we are offering, and a few more courses that are coming up in future. So definitely there will be a question like why we need to choose TechMaster. So as I said, trainers are very well experienced over here. So because of that reason, they can provide very good knowledge, not only with respect to the technical course, but to the part of the process that we follow in software industry. So, like for example, creating a database. So, creating a database anyway in the course it will be covered. But when it comes to real time, what are all the factors that we need to consider, or what are all the communications that we need to do? Maybe with respect to our management, or with respect to the client, or with respect to the application team. So we need to do a lot of communications through emails and all. So how that need to be handled, and also especially MNCs will follow some standards in process. We call that as ITAL process. So almost like every company is now following it. So in case if this ITL is implemented, what are all the tools we have and how we are handling it? So all these things will come into picture. So these are all the things that will be provided during the course along with the technical subject. And we do have some other options like you can have mock interviews, and then once you get into the job, you face any issue, you can always ping us so that we will be available, in case of critical issues. And we do support in certification writing, all the other things as well. So coming to myself, my name is Nagapavan, but many people know me as Pawan DBA because of the reason that I maintain a blog with the same name, pawandba.com. So where I would be posting the technical articles and all. So I'm having total 14 plus years experience, and right now I'm working as both SME as well as I'm managing the database operations for a particular team. And those are all the other things that you can see on the screen. So, coming to the course, I personally designed this course myself. So each and every part, right from starting the course content till the material preparation, everything I have done it on my own. So when I'm doing it, obviously I kept everything in mind. Like for example, uh, which people this course best suit for. So obviously, when a person is joining the course, uh, like in a batch, there could be multiple people. So there could be freshers who newly learning about Oracle DBA, or there could be a person who is working in some other technology and they want to shift to Oracle DBA, or they want to acquire Oracle DBA as a secondary skill set, or a DBA who already has the knowledge of previous versions and they want to upgrade to the new versions. Like for example, uh, earlier from 11G, people upgraded to 12C, and now from 12C, we might need to upgrade to 19C or 18C. So it's a continuous process. So even those people should be able to attend this course. So now it's definitely something like this. For example, if you look at the architecture of Oracle, um, okay, for a fresher, it might be exciting that, okay, this is something new for me. But how about the, person who is already having a DBA experience? So I just added a few things over here in my course so that even maybe many of the DBAs who are working, they still or they might not be aware of the things what internally happens in Oracle. So I just made sure that it would be exciting for them as well. So I just took care of those things, mostly in each and every course, topic, so that it would be exciting for everyone and everyone can enjoy the course. So that's the reason I just mentioned here. The target audience is in fact everyone. So, but mainly like for freshers or the persons who are trying to add a secondary skill set, or a DBA who tries to want to upgrade to the new version. And obviously there will be a question, why we need to learn a DBA. So unlike some other technologies or some other tools, at least in Oracle, we do have the chance that this is a long-lasting career. So, for example, it's not like I'm discriminating something, but just to give quote an example, if you take testing tools or testing engineers, initially, I mean, when I started my career, it's like I know people use it to do the, especially with automation testing, they use it to use a tool called load runner. And later, after some years, they suddenly started working on something called QTP. After that, some other tool, and right now Selenium. So, like this, every now and then some new tool is coming, and the old tool is just disappearing from the market. So you need to learn that one and you need to move on. So maybe the tools are here and there similar with the same kind of features and all. Whereas when it comes to Oracle or any administration that you take, like for example, Unix administration or network administration or database administration, the advantage is you don't need to switch to multiple tools. You switch on to only one particular product, and you just need to update your versions. That's it. So Oracle architecture, if you look at mainly from 9i to 19c. So over the versions, the architecture remains same, but few additions were there. So that's the reason, we can say it is a long-lasting career. And of course, you people might be knowing that this is one of the highly paid jobs that we have. And of course, comparatively, when if you compare with the application development, then the number of openings might be less, but not the case everywhere. So now, the need of the DBAs also increased a lot. So nowadays you can see so many DBAs working over there in the market. So we do discuss about various other things like many doubts would be there, like how Oracle, how the cloud environment is going to impact the DBA's career, or how these big data things are going to impact the career. So we will discuss that in our Q&A session. So as I said, I'm personally myself designed this course. So one more thing that I kept in my mind while designing this is, when you enter into some organization, or if you are already holding a job, you must be knowing this. So there would be different roles for a DBA to play. So, like for example, there is something called production DBA. We call that something like production support. So this is the most category of the DBA jobs that we have in India. So it's something like, there is a database running from years together, and you are going to provide some support to that by taking care of it, like doing the administration work or handling any errors that are occurring in the database, all other application related requests and all. So this is, as I said, the majority of the DBA roles in India are having this one. And the other one is application DBA. So here you would be interacting more with your application team. You will be understanding the requirements of the application team, and accordingly you will be involving in every task. Like for example, application team wants to develop a new application. So in that case, they need table designing as well. So we will be part of the table designing, and so that we can help out the application team with the knowledge what we have. So because application team may not be having the in and out of the database, they must be knowing only, okay, there will be a table, just we need to create it, or there will be index, we need to create it. But it's not like that. So if you create a table, what will be the impact in the database? So a DBA will be thinking like, okay, if I create a table, how much storage this table is going to occupy? So that we need to plan for the storage. Or if I create a index, how that is going to impact the performance of the table or performance of the query. So we would be thinking, the underlying storage or performance part of you as well. Whereas application team may not be thinking in that way. So such kind of a role also is required for us to play. So where we call that as application DBA. Then we have a development DBA. So wherein if you are good at writing the programming, so you can help your application team in writing the SQL and PLSQL queries. But most of the DBAs nowadays are not like development DBAs. The reason is, if you look at the older generation of DBAs who are working, they are initially Oracle developers, and then they switch it to Oracle DBAs. So because of that reason, they know the SQL, very complex writing SQL queries, and they know PLSQL programming, everything. But the latest generation, if you look at, so people don't have that development thing, because they directly started the career with the DBA role. So, but still, some are other times we might be requiring to help the application team in modifying the queries, or to give a better performance. So for that reason, we do have this development DBA role as well. But of course, nowadays we have a lot many tools also available which can help out with that. And then we do have data warehouse DBA. So this is especially much related to the performance. So data warehouse DBAs, data warehouse databases are generally very huge in size. So we will discuss that anyway as well, like what is a data warehouse database, what is a normal database, and all those things. So usually they will be very big in size. So obviously when the size is large, then there will be performance issues. So we are going to discuss about if we have a data warehouse database, how best we are going to get the performance. So what are all the factors that we need to take care as a DBA in order to achieve that performance. And finally, we do have a role called a database architect. So it's something like generally SMEs will be taking care of this. So if you are creating a new database or if you are creating a new database server, so the role of the database architect is they need to choose everything, starting from the hardware till the Oracle database gets created. They need to take care of everything. Like for example, there are several vendors in the market who provides the hardware servers. Like we have Dell, then HP is there, Hitachi. So many companies are there. So we need to choose from which company or which vendor we need to choose, purchase the server, and of course we need to know the latest server configurations as well. So I cannot suggest my client to purchase a server with 32 GB of RAM, because nowadays you can see, in mobile phones itself we are getting 32 GB RAMs. So to know or to suggest to my client that you need to purchase this much capacity of RAM or this much capacity of CPU, I need to know what is the requirement or what this database is going to do in future. So accordingly, we can do that. So that kind of role also need to be performed. Now, why we need to discuss that in the course? The reason is, okay, in MNCs, yes, MNCs will have the capacity and they can hire, a person with SME experience, and to play a role like a database architect. But if you look at a mid-sized company or sometimes a startup company, so they might, you know, they might not financially, they might not have the capacity to hire this particular, senior persons. So they might expect some little bit of, output from the existing DBS. So they they might hire a just taking an example. So they might hire a 5 years experience DBA, then they might ask, that person to perform such kind of a role. So obviously that will be very new to that person, but if you know little bit background about it, so as a database architect, what I need to do, then it would be easy, for anyone to get into that role. So that's the prime intention here. So all these type of DBA tasks, what we perform, it will be covered, during the course. So what a production DBA will do, more and more responsibilities, what are there. So all these things with respect to each and every DBA type that is mentioned here. So we are going to discuss thoroughly during the course. So obviously, when it comes to DBA roles and responsibilities, you must be knowing this. So we are responsible in implementing new environments. So designing will be taken care by database architect. But as I said, sometimes you need to become a database architect. So we need to understand about it. Then we do manage the databases. So as I said, managing is nothing but checking about the errors or checking whether backups are happening regularly or not, or checking on the storage part, like the space requirement, whether the space is sufficient or are we running out of space. And then database security, which is especially important in these days. As you know, so many online frauds are going on, and they are increasing day by day. So we need to be very careful with the database security, because one single loophole can take out entire client's reputation as well as there will be a huge financial loss as well. So we should be very careful on that. Then we do have backup and recoveries. So how best we are going to take the backup. So taking the backup is a simple thing. That's not a big deal. We just run one command and backup will be done. But uh, at what time that backup should run, and if my backup is this much size, how I should handle it, or if the backup is running for several hours, is there any way that I can reduce the time of the backup by improving its performance? So all those things will be understood. And then we do have performance monitoring and tuning. So this is one of the highly critical task for a DBA. Even today, a very highly experienced DBA cannot directly say that this performance issue is caused because of this one. So there is lot much analyzation that we need to do. So there are several reports that we need to go through. So all will be discussed in our course. How best we do the performance tuning. And of course, we do have several other things like rack environment. Then we have ASM environments. Then we do have standby, which we call it as a data guard. Then we do have Oracle Enterprise Manager. So several other adjoining companies will be there for the database. So we need to keep a look, or we need to understand about each and every component over there as well. So we'll be learning all these things, exclusively in our content. And so this is the course content that we have. So it is available in Techmaster website. So the techmaster.in is the website URL. So you can download it from there, or you can request the Techmaster admin team at their WhatsApp number, so they can provide a copy for you. So it contains everything in detail in each topic, what are and all we are going to discuss it. So this is some exclusive content that you might be finding different. So like we deal with ASM, so which is like generally not part of the DBA course, but no, because of the priority, I just included it here itself. So we see about ASM not only theoretically, we just implement it practically, and we would be upgrading with the different versions as well. So like from 11G to 12C or 12C to 19Z, we will be looking at upgrading that as well. Then we do have the standby setup, which we call it as a data guard. So we will be seeing how we are going to patch that database if we have a data guard setup, or how we are going to upgrade the database if we have a standby database setup. So which generally is not being shown. So it will be like they just show the standby setup, and that will be done. But here we do something extra. And of course, we discuss about the 18C and 19C new features, everything. And we do see practically how we are going to upgrade to a 12C database or 11G database to 18C or 19C versions. Then since 12C, Oracle has introduced a new architecture, which we call it as multi-tenant database. And Oracle announced that from 20C onwards, Oracle is going to discontinue its previous architecture, and it's going to continue only this multi-tenant architecture. So we will be looking at in detail about what is multi-tenant database and what is that new architecture, and we will be obviously seeing lot many other things like how we will be migrating from a previous architecture to multi-tenant architecture database, and all those things. Apart from that, we do see like again patching, upgrade, cloning, and standby setup, all these things on a multi-tenant database also. So like I will be showing these things on a regular architecture database as well as the on the multi-tenant architecture database. Then we discuss about OEM and OMS. So which is like a monitoring tool for Oracle. So OEM is a monitoring tool for Oracle through which you can manage all your thousands of databases in your organization or in your environment. And the supporting system for this OEM is Oracle Management Server. So we also discussed more about what is OMS, how it will be set up. We will see it practically, how we will set up that, and several other things. And apart from this, the main thing that as a DBA in a day-to-day basis we require is troubleshooting. So if I land up with any error, how I'm going to troubleshoot it. So that will be discussed in detail here, and wherever possible, I will be creating those kind of errors manually, and then I will show you what is the solution that we need to go with it. So we will see, all kind of those troubleshooting issues. And as I discussed in the beginning, apart from the technicality part, so we need to understand about the process part and especially the email etiquette. So we'll be in detail discussing about how these things need to be done. So if a production database is down, so it's not simply that you are going to just troubleshoot it. You need to inform to your management as well, and not only your management, but you need to inform the application team, and so many other things are there. So we'll be discussing in detail if at all we face any issue, so how we are going to do the communication, and what are all the processes that we have and how we are going to handle that as well. So these are the materials that would be given to you. So you'd be getting a Unix commands thing. That's anyway, it's like by default. And by the way, our entire course will go with the Oracle Linux. So we are going to use Oracle Linux, and then we are going to use Oracle 12c. And of course, later we will be looking at upgrading to 19c and 18c as well. And apart from that, you would be getting a exclusive hands-on document. So that hands-on document contains both the theory and practical commands as well. So it's designed by myself. So I have included everything just to take care of that. And then you will be getting the interview questions booklet, and softwares mostly you can download it by yourself from oracle.com or any other website. But if at all in case you want, we can provide the software as well. And as nowadays many people are not showing interest in taking exclusive labs, so we are not providing any lab. So you need to practice in your machines, and whatever the videos or whatever the sessions that are happening, that will be recorded daily, and it will be in GoToMeeting cloud environment, so you can access that forever. So we'll be giving links for the videos on a daily basis. So once the like class is completed, so that you can go back and you can watch the video in case if you have any questions or you miss on that particular day, so you can go back and you can recheck over there. So we are going to start off the batch from tomorrow. We'll be tomorrow and day after tomorrow, it's free classes. So whatever the link that you have used to join this demo, please you can use the same link and you can join the free classes tomorrow and day after tomorrow as well. So after that, it will be exclusively for the people who register for the course. And these are the fee and other details. So these are the class timings that we follow. And I have little bit, I mean, I have a habit of going little bit slow. So that's the reason usually the duration could be 30 days, but because of the other exclusive content also, I made it as 40 days. And we do have course only on weekdays, that is Monday to Friday, and there are no classes on weekends. So, before I let you people ask some questions, let me just try to put down these questions, so which I generally hear. So, the first thing is about the certification. So, generally there will be a question: if I write the certification, will it help me to get a job? I say yes. So certification will help you. So the reason is for the resume scrutiny. So for example, if you look at HR will not have the technical what do you say understanding. So if your HR sees two resumes, one resume with a certification logo and another resume without a certification logo, so because HR don't have the technicality thing, so they obviously prefer to go with the resume which is having a certification logo. So at least to get our resume shortlisted, we need certification. So that's why yes, OCP will help. It will not help us to get a job, but it will help us to get into the shortlisting process. And the second question is whether we need exclusive PLSQL knowledge in order to become a DBA. Frankly, to say no. So that's what earlier I was saying. So the previous generation of DBAs are developers initially, so they do have PLSQL knowledge, but the latest generation, people don't have the PLSQL knowledge. But still, there are DBAs. So it is not, but if you have that, then it will be good. It will be an added advantage. And whether fresher will get a job? Yes, there are so many fresher. I myself started my career as a fresher, and there are so many other people also who I referred, and they started their career as fresher. So it's not a thing, but now the requirement has been changed. So maybe if a fresher do only Oracle DBA, it might not be sufficient. So they might need to have a knowledge on Oracle RAC as well. May not be in depth, but little bit overview about what is RAC database and all. If they do have that knowledge, then it would be much more competitive, than the others. And of course, Oracle RAC, it became almost mandatory that you require that in order to get the job. So in case you are showing up some experience and then you want to give it right, then you know RAC is mandatory, frankly. And difference between the core and apps DBA. So core, as we discussed, these are all the things that we see in core. Apps DBA is something more concentrates on the third party application, or third we call it as three tier. So I can say it application tier services. So it's not related to core at all. So there are two different paths. But apps DBA will be touching some concepts of core, like the patching, upgrading, cloning. So especially these three concepts will be overlapped between the core and apps DBA. But apart from these three concepts, the other concepts are exclusive and they are very different. So now there comes the biggest question and the biggest afraid. So how about the future of a DBA? With especially this cloud coming to picture. So already so many cloud environments by different vendors started, like AWS, Oracle Cloud, Azure, and all these things. So it's not, every time this kind of question will be raised. Even I heard when 12C was introduced, many people said, the career of the DBA is going to end or something like that. So, which is not at all true, actually, to say. So, it is something like, you would be changing your role to something else. So if you are a DBA working on a cloud environment, you will be handling different things than regular. Like for example, the regular DBA work is like creating new databases or taking backups or whatever is there. But in cloud, you won't be doing these things. So you'd be doing something else. Uh, the roles and responsibilities will be little bit different, but still you would be Oracle DBA only. And also, Oracle has announced that these 19C or 20C databases are fully automated or autonomous databases, wherein a DBA is not required even for performance tuning also. So obviously, by looking at the statement, most of the DBAs got worried about it. What will be the career of DBA? But that's the strategy of Oracle for marketing. So frankly to say, no database in the world can be automated, or it's not automated also. So we need to clearly understand the terminology that used. It They said autonomous. So which means it can act as a autonomous automated database, but frankly it is not fully automated database. So we need to understand the terminology difference. So as I said, it's a marketing strategy, and moreover that autonomous will come into picture only if you are having the database on Oracle Cloud. Suppose you are not using cloud environment at all, then you will not get that autonomous what you say advantage. Or if you are using AWS instead of Oracle Cloud, then also you won't get that autonomous advantage. So lot many interlinks are there. Obviously, that's like a star with conditions apply. So advertisement will be very big, but at last they will say a star, and there will be conditions apply. So similar to that, Oracle's marketing strategies. So there will be no effect on DBA career, and happily it will be continuing as it is. So with that, I have completed my part. So I would like you people, if you have any questions, you can just speak, or you can even type in the chat window.
Hey, Pawan, Maha here. Can you show us the documents you mentioned about it? Right? You mentioned you'll be sharing some materials to the attendees. So can you show some sample of that, what documents you will be using?
Yeah, sure. Let me open up the document. Okay, so this is the document. So I call it as hands-on document, and as I said, it covers both the theory as well as the practical commands as well. Like initially we discuss about architecture. So I just it's there like with architecture. Okay, so if I go to, for example, a topic called multiplexing of control files, so you'll be having a theoretical part, and then you'll be having all the commands, step-by-step commands, so which you can just follow and you can practice it. So like this, each and every topic will have a theory, and then you would be having this things as well.
Okay. So this document also covers some internals. For example, let's take we have some undo table space. So uh, that also covered here in the document. Details about undo table space, what we use, what kind of error we get.
Uh, you mean to say how we are going to migrate from a normal database, I mean, from Mongo to Oracle like that, you mean to say?
No, no, not related to the undo table space.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah. We do have undo as well.
okay.
It talks, yes, about undo table space. So here we have undo management.
Mm-hmm.
So we discuss everything. We discuss about aura one triple five error exclusively with a example
Okay.
as well.
Okay. Okay. So during the time, did you also actually show the demo by creating this error?
Yes, yes, we
Or
do.
it, okay. All right. Okay. So what about the Unix? You mentioned about you're also sharing some Unix notes. What is that?
Which one?
Unix notes.
Yeah, Unix nodes is just, a normal command list kind of thing. So it's not a, exclusive one, or I say.
Okay.
So it's a command of the essential Unix commands, like the regular ones what a DBA will use.
Okay.
So this is that document.
Yeah. So, do you help on the tools like the some analyzing tools like for example OS Watcher installation, TFA collection? So, do you cover that also as part of this training?
Yes, we do cover that. So I
Okay.
mean I can show you how the OS Watcher installation should be done or TFA installation.
Okay.
And yeah, I will be discussing about what details it will collect and how it will be useful for us with Oracle support. All these things. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So what
So,
and all.
ASM what level?
ASM will be looking at, of course, the theoretical portion. Then we will see how we are going to implement it for a database. And
Okay.
the regular administration of ASM, like you add a new disk or you create a new disk group, all those things. And we
Okay.
do see also the upgrade of ASM from one version to another version.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So we also show the demo of patching and upgradation of one version to another version of Oracle database. For example,
Yes,
12C to 18C, 18C to 19C, something like that.
yes, yes. So we'll
Okay.
see everything practically.
Okay. All right then.
So any questions from others?
Apart from this, do you also share slides? For example, sometimes you may be explaining the architecture in your slides. Okay.
Mhm.
Do you share that in the PDF format or how does?
Actually, it's every day. Everything is there in the hands-on document. But
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah, so I mean, with the diagrams, with explanation, everything is there.
okay,
Yeah. Anyway, apart from that, anyway, you will be having these videos, so
okay,
that would be maybe
okay. So this for this session you used a PPT, but for further sessions you what do you actually use it? So you will explain in the
I
PPT
will.
and then
No, I won't use PPTs. I hate them, frankly to say. So
Mhm.
I go through that hands-on document only. So
Okay,
hands-on document is the one which I exclusively follow because it contains
okay,
more.
got it. So in this case, how do you handle like for example sequence? For example, you are explaining something, some inserting some data, and the next is next insert, and then how it putting into the your log file, how it goes to your data file, how the checkpoint, and so how you explain that in a sequential way with the hands-on? Because in a hands-on document you have a complete diagram there, but how do you explain those flows, logical
I mean,
flows?
yeah, obviously, like I do have a device called Pen Tablet. So it's
Okay,
just like just like a marker and a whiteboard a trainer will use in a classroom environment. So I just use that device. So and I will show
okay,
you by drawing the diagrams and all those things.
okay.
So it will be like just how you will feel like how in a classroom person will be drawing or writing something on the board. So you'll be
Mhm.
getting the same feeling over here as well.
Okay, got it. So do you also take rack classes?
No, unfortunately, my time is not allowing me to go with
Okay.
these rack classes.
Okay.
Because even I am working, right, so I'm not getting that time.
Got it. Got it.
So, in case if you have any questions, these are the ways that you can reach out to me. So that's my email ID. I mean, you
Just want to ask you, in this course, is Golden Gate included or it's not?
Golden Gate completely is not included, but I will give you the theoretical overview of the Golden Gate, and I will show you the basic setup of Golden Gate.
Okay.
Yes, thanks for that. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yes,
Uh,
I will be dealing with that.
okay. No, actually, currently I'm working in a MNC, so they're using Golden Gate, and I don't have the knowledge about it. So one of my colleague only preferred you. Okay. So that's what. I just want to learn only like mainly ASM and RAC and Golden Gate and this data.
Okay. Yeah, so ASM and data guard will be completely covered. Even I will give overview on RAC and the Golden Gate as well. But RAC and Golden Gate, it's only, what you say, up to a certain level, because we need to deal with other topics as well.
Okay, okay, okay. So, is there any like a separate course, like if only mainly we need to concentrate on RAC?
Yes, we do have. So I have my friend. Raj. So he will be dealing with RAC, Exadata, all these courses here in TechMaster. So I believe he might be starting some RAC batch by this weekend, I heard. So
Okay.
probably get in touch with TechMaster so they can able to tell you.
Yeah, but in this, you will explain about everything, but RAC and Golden Gate, you just give a brief explanation and
Right.
basic
Right.
knowledge you will.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 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 Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Okay, so these are the different ways that you can always contact me, so that anytime I would be there. If at all you have question after this demo also, you can just ping me over there, so I will reply to you. So as said, tomorrow and day after tomorrow we have that free sessions. So we'll be again connecting tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So you can use the same link and you can join in. So if no questions from anyone, then we can wind off this session for today.
Okay. Thanks, Pawan.
Yeah, so thanks very much and have a nice day.